The Willys is more assembled right now than it ever has been. Alright guys, welcome back. It's been a very warm week, but I did manage to build myself some CV shafts, so come and check out how I did it. First off, I've already test fit them and made sure that they were all the same length, or the proper length that I needed. So this is what I had them do on the Porsche side. You can see there is a step here. And that is to match the diameter of the smaller Pontiac size. So the two pieces together make a circle that's nice. And then some sleeves. You can see the step inside there. And a few spots for some rosette welds. So basically, one slides over the other and they lock together, and you weld them up and try to make them as straight as you possibly can. So they don't fit in my lathe, they are too long to go on both ends here. So what I have to do is throw them into my drill press and use my dial caliper. So I'll show you how that works. Okay, so up top here I have my the little nub, like a centering nub, and in the bottom I have my bearing rotatable one. So just like that. Now slide the caliper or the dial indicator into place, and you can see how much it moves, tell you where center is. Basically my plan is to weld up the center ones first, regardless of how it's sitting, because when I weld the the sleeve itself on, it's going to pull it back and forth. So I'll go ahead and get started on that, and this has to be done in lots of steps. Weld those two, let it cool completely off, go back and weld a few other things. So it takes a while, but it's definitely going to be worth it. So if you turn it to the low side on the dial indicator on this side and weld there, it pushes that side out, so it raises it up. So I'm just going to get it, maybe a little bit closer before that really cools off, just by doing the spot weld on this side. And you can actually watch the dial moving up. Yeah, it's pretty far out already, or still. So maybe I'll do a little tack over here as well. Alright, so one thing I have to do is make sure I'm holding my chuck at the top, because I don't know how centered that is. Okay, so I've already cut it down almost in half, but it's still quite a bit, still out quite a bit here. So let's do a little bit more. So that's almost 10,000 since I shut off the welder. Yeah, now we've cut that in half again. Now we're only down to about 10,000th of play, so we're getting pretty close already, and we haven't even welded everything up. So I gotta let this cool off, and we'll come back and do some more welds. And now we wait again. Alright. So I get less than 1,000ths run out right there. So that's definitely good. Now I've already got the other one done as well, and it's pretty much the same thing. So what we got left to do now is just do a quick little sand on them, paint them up, and when they're dry we can reassemble. Alright, so they're dry enough to probably be able to work on, so let's slap some of these together and get them put into the Jeep, and you can see how everything works. One axle. Doesn't even look too bad. Like I said, if this doesn't end up holding, like if this is the first piece that breaks, like if the transmission ends up holding, which is my biggest concern probably now, if that holds and these break, then I'll spend the money on getting custom axles. But at least then I'll know that everything else works. But until then, I don't think these are gonna break. I'm not pushing crazy torque through them, and traction is probably gonna be an issue. All right, so we got both of them all done, reassembled, painted, ready to go in. I had to go grab some bolts because I didn't realize the CVs for the Porsche didn't come with the bolts. So I got those now. And just FYI, if you guys haven't already, go check out my Teespring store. Go pick yourself up some shirts, some hoodies maybe. I know it's a little bit early for that, but let's get these in. I'll give you guys a full look. I have the Willys is more assembled right now than it ever has been. So bear with me, I'm new to this gimbal thing. All right, so I've got the chain drive system all in place. I got the first joint welded on there. Then I put another swivel here. So I actually have a turning steering system. So you guys can see the steering shaft will be coming out over here, so the dash has to be remade. I did that after I got the CV shafts installed. Fully installed. Super tight clearances here. All the brakes are on, well, the rotors are all on. Radiator's in. And yeah, looking pretty good. So thank you guys very much for joining me on another episode. Next week we're going to be working on the shifter for the Porsche end of this thing, and I'm just going to make it on the lathe and see what happens. Thanks for checking it out.